Hi, welcome to Ready Spotlight Go Live. I'm Daya and I am the assistant producer of Blissful Studios. For today's live, we have a special guest and his name is Lee Mcking. He is an author, neurologist, NLP master practitioner and conversational hypnotherapist. He aims to do his best to help people in most whatever they require as effectively as possible using techniques from NLP and hypnotherapy. With this desire to help as many people as possible, as effectively as possible, he is always sourcing out for new techniques and knowledge in order to improve his skills, so that he can create positive change in people's life. And because a joy of learning and having new experiences, as well as seeing smiles after a good job well done, inspires him to do his best, Mcking is one of the youngest effective hypnotists in Singapore. He was interviewed by the New Paper in 2016, and one of his books, The Better Business Book, is a collaborative effort with 99 other authors and has been downloaded over 20,000 times on Kindle. He has been interviewed on various channels and platforms such as Shout SG, the Freelancers Academy, the Royal Singapore, and many more. He also won the Southeast Asia Business Award Hypnotist of the Year 2020. So let us welcome Mcking. Hi Mcking.
Hello.
Hi, so how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Good, I'm very good as usual. What have you been doing right now with the 1 month heightened alert in COVID?
Stay at home.
Stay at home.
Although to be fair, I am still seeing clients. It's just that I restrict the number of clients I see face-to-face a day, and then I see clients more on Zoom, for example.
Okay, so you still do both virtual and physical meetings
Yes.
every day?
Almost every day. Yeah, I try to give myself at least 1 day off a week lah. Have a break, you know.
Okay. So as I mentioned, you are basically your expertise in hypnosis. Can you share with our audience on a little bit what is hypnosis all about?
Sure. Alright, so basically hypnotism is a form of a trance state. So a lot of people think hypnotism is like sleep, black magic and kind of things, but actually it's not. So what I realized that hypnotism is a natural occurring phenomena. And when we talk about trance in particular, it's something where we already experience every day, multiple times a day. For example, with imagination, with emotion, or with an extreme focus. So let's talk about the zone state or the flow state for a moment. You probably heard of this before in terms of productivity, where you are extremely focused, and you're in that zone, and so focused to the point where you do all the work, all the ideas and everything. And that is actually a trance state, which we experience whenever we want to. What I do is that I use this natural occurring phenomena to do my therapeutic work, to help people resolve their issues all the way into the unconscious mind, resolve it from there, and then they resolve the issues and they're cleared. I mean, that's the short version about it, yeah.
Okay, that is very mouthful, but very interesting insight from you, and I'm actually quite interested to know more insight from you later on. Okay, and today Mcking and I will be sharing with you about how do you maintain eye contact in both virtual and physical events, and hence today's title, which is showing your confidence through your eyes. Through your eyes. Okay, so as business leaders, I'm sure you guys face a lot of issues, and according to research, there are a lot of common areas that you guys face, and the top 5 are growth, leadership, strategy, business alignment, and keeping a positive mindset. And on top of all that, you guys have to show that you are confident as a leader to your team. And as a confident leader, you need to constantly talk to people, be it your client, your team, family and friends. And in every communication, eye contact is very important. It's one of the most important part of our body language. And because I feel that eye contact, our eyes speaks volumes about us, and it shows how we communicate with people. And sorry, I lost my train of thoughts.
It's okay.
And basically, I've heard a lot of people saying that, I heard this saying, you are not listening with just your ears, you are listening with your eyes. I think this is where this comes in lah. This is the first time me using this quote. And I think this applies to both physical and virtual virtual events. And personally, I think maintaining eye contact with a person like you and maintaining eye contact with a camera here feels very different.
Yes.
Because when I look at you, I can feel like whether you want to talk to me or whether you like me or not, personally. But if I look here, I don't know who's watching me, I don't know what you're thinking about me, I don't know whether you like me or not, and I cannot catch the cue of whether I should continue the conversation. Exactly. Or should I just just play it along. So, but that's about me.
Sure.
How about you? What do you think? Do we really need to maintain eye contact online, especially online?
Yeah, definitely. So of course, as you sort of mentioned, we can get feedback in the face-to-face, right? But in the online setting, is this a camera or is this a little laptop screen? You know, if you're a laptop screen, you get to see the other person's video. But what if you're actually doing like an online meeting or a Zoom or a Facebook Live, and you only get to see yourself, a little screen, a little glass on the laptop, and that's it. That's it, right? So we do have to have that kind of constant eye contact still, even though we don't have that feedback. So of course you get a lot of people asking, hey, you know, if you get what I'm saying, you put a number one, you get what I'm saying, you put a yes, you know, ask your questions. So that's how we get the feedback from there, right? But you still have to maintain. Now, for some people who feel that it's a bit uncomfortable to just see nothing there, right? You can actually have a little bit of tricks where you can put a little picture of, let's say, your friend or your family, put behind the little camera, so you can look at the person. So right now, for example, I'm looking above the camera. But does it look like I'm looking at the camera? You can't tell, right? Because it's so minute. However, you can do that if, let's say, you have a fear of cameras, for example. But yes, eye contact is very, very important. And of course, as you mentioned earlier about how you get the feedback, the presence, right? And the information. So in fact, for example, a lot of people think, by the way, that you have to have constant eye contact 100%. That's not true, right? Because if you just stare all the time, it's like staring, you know, it feels weird, you know, it feels like, oh, are you gonna attack me or there's something strange in my mouth? So we do have to look away a little bit once in a while, just to caution that, because there are some people who emphasize so much on the constant eye contact to the point where they forget that they have to be human and not like a robot, like stare.
Okay, so I guess we can conclude that we actually need eye contact, but it's just that we have to control as and when do we look away, when do we look at the person and stuff. Okay. So how do you think we can overcome that fear of eye contact? Because, right, I mean, like, okay, you already mentioned how you can look at the camera like right above the lens, but personally, I think I still have that fear of eye contact. I think it's called eye contact anxiety. Is there such thing? Don't know.
I mean, this time we have so many different forms of anxiety. I mean, there's somebody with a fear of elbows. Do you know that?
Yeah. Oh, really? Elbows?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fear of their own elbows.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And there are people with fear of fruits.
Wow.
Yeah. So at this point in time, you can have any kind of anxiety, any kind of sounds odd as it is.
Okay, because I did some research just for this live, okay, and I had this interesting insight where studies have shown that in most conversation, only 7% involves words. That means left with 93% is non-verbal, and out of that 93%, 55% is actually visual, which is like body language and eye contact. So how do you think that we can overcome that fear of maintaining eye contact both physically and virtual? Like, how do you say it? Like, how do we crack the eye contact code?
Okay. If you were to ask me, I think that in terms of the cracking the eye contact code, we got to understand, first of all, why do we have that fear?
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know why?
For me, is I'm scared of being judged.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. In fact, if you ask the audience out there, they will probably say the same thing. They could have other statements, I don't know. So yes, that's one thing. Fear of being judged. Fear that whatever I'm portraying to you is something that's a bit off. You know, or is it like, oh, am I staring too much, or I'm staring too little, you know, nothing. So that is the reason. That is probably one of the core reasons. There could be a few other reasons as well. But once you understand, okay, you know what, the actual fear is fear of being judged. That's why I'm fear of having the eye contact. Then you can start to work on what can I do to improve or reduce that fear of judgment. You see, for example, if let's say you are always prim and proper, right? You always keep good habits and everything. Then that fear will be reduced. And the other thing is that you also must realize that whichever person behind the camera or even face to face, and they look at you, they have a perception. Here's the funny thing, there are easily 1,000 different perceptions of you. There are easily 1,000 different yous in every single person's mind. They have a different perception of you. Okay? So meaning, no matter what, there's always a different persona about you. Some people will say I'm very serious. Some people say I'm like a joker. Some people say I'm crazy. Right? They all have different perceptions. So then you will start to realize, hey, you know what? If they have different perceptions of me, that's fine. It's up to them. How do they want to perceive me? Myself. How do I know myself? How do I perceive myself? That is far more important. So if you can realize, hey, if you are able to stay true to yourself, authentic to yourself, irregardless of other people's judgment and perceptions, then you can break into that, and then the eye contact, it just comes much more naturally. It's a
Okay.
different way of looking at it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. But then, in order to have that eye contact to come naturally, right? Is it important to have that confidence? Like you said, we have to believe in ourselves, right? Like you know yourself, and you just don't really care about what people think of you. So, what is your idea of confidence?
So it goes back to earlier I mentioned about authentic. If you are true to yourself, you're authentic to yourself, whatever you do is always you, then you are portraying that confidence already, regardless face to face or on screen. Right?
Yep.
So it all stacks together already. Yeah.
True. Okay, because for me, my idea of confidence is really eye contact is definitely one of them.
Yes.
But then I feel that in order to have that eye contact, I really need to be confident with myself. And like sometimes I don't really believe in myself, and hence there's no confidence there. I mean, lack of confidence, and yeah, that's why I have I'm not good in socializing with people. So do you have any a little advice for people like me? We tend to sometimes I can be very confident 1 second, and then suddenly the next second like oh no, what happened? Yeah.
Okay. Can I do can I give a conscious advice? Then I share an unconscious technique with people.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of self-hypnotism. Is that okay?
Okay, sure.
Cool. Excuse me, I burped.
It's okay.
Gas in the stomach. Okay. First of all, when it comes to sharing a message, whether it's face-to-face or online, remember one thing. Whatever that you're sharing, that message, it can impact people's lives. Think about it, right? And if that message that you're about to share is so impactful, so important, then will you allow the fear to hold you back? Think about that for a moment.
Okay.
Right? Now, for some people, the moment they think about it, right, they realize, hey, you know what, I got this very important message to share with people, and I have to share it regardless, then they will get the confidence naturally. So this method can work for some people.
Okay.
Okay, you got any questions about it so far?
No.
No, okay. But you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, a few people. I met this guy. He invited me to his business launch opening thingy. I can't remember what the event was actually. And he had to deliver a speech, and he was like, oh, fidgety and everything. And I shared with him the same thing. The thing about this very important message you want to share with people, right? Yeah, and he was like, yeah, exactly. Oh my god, so important. And just like that, all his nerves just calmed down. I was like, cool, it's perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the conscious way. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So now the unconscious way, all right? We'll do a bit of self-hypnotism. So you don't have to do it now. But if you want to, you can follow along. So what happens is that we can actually have a sense within ourselves regarding that fear or anxiety. All right, we do a simple one, the fear of anxiety. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, just checking, it's like our feedback, right?
Okay.
So, okay, cool. Now, in this case, I want you to have a sense of where does it reside in your body. This little bit of fear or anxiety, you can give it a name, or I don't know whether it's related to the eye contact or confidence thing. Okay, but for now, this fear of anxiety. You found it where it resides?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort
Okay.
of.
Good. Now, some people will have it in the head or in the neck. Some people might have it in the chest. Can be in the right side, the left side. Can be in the stomach. Some people can have it hands or in the feet, for example, which is fine. Anywhere it goes.
Okay.
So now you find it already. Okay. I want you to allow it to manifest as a color, right, and maybe even a shape.
Okay.
Now, you can choose to give it your own color or shape, or even allow your unconscious mind to give it a color or shape.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And then share me what do you see?
Red square.
Red square. Beautiful. So now other people can have like a pink circle or a blue triangle or a pyramid or whatever. Okay, that's fine. So right now, what I want you to do is to ask this question: what is your positive intention for me? Now you may get reply, you may not get reply. Ask this red square. What is your positive intention for me?
Okay.
Do you get the answer?
No, not yet lah.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's pick a little bit. The other one is what is your positive intention for me? So one is your what is your positive purpose? Another variation is what's your positive intention? Okay.
Okay.
Do you respond anything? No. Nothing. Okay. Let me go generic. What is your message for me?
Okay.
Do you get something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not so sure if this is positive or negative.
Yes.
Okay. What I get is, I just want myself to look good.
Yeah.
in front of people. Yeah.
Well, in a way, it's positive,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It's not like I want to stab someone in the heart.
No.
Right, so that's still positive. Okay, good. So what we do is that we step upon it. Okay. So we okay. Thank you for wanting me to look good. What else can you give me that's even more positive?
Really not so sure. I'm not.
Is
Okay.
it, did you say anything?
No.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Then let's try another variation. Okay. Besides wanting me to look good, what else can you help me with?
Speak good.
Very good.
Speak better. Yes.
Better.
Correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
good. So let's step again. If you can help me to look good and help me to speak better, how else can you help me today?
Be more confident in
more
front of the
confident.
cameras. Yes.
Exactly. Good. Now, I want you to thank this symbol for giving you all these positive things.
Okay.
Okay? But let you know, it hasn't been doing that for you. It's been giving you the fear or anxiety or whatever is holding you back, right? So then you ask it whether it can change or transform into another form, shape, or color, whatever, that can give you all the positive but without the negative.
Okay. If the answer is like 50-50.
Okay, 50-50, all right? It's a rare case.
I'm rare.
Okay, then I want you to ask it, what's holding it back?
Really the fear. That fear is really holding me back. It's like very strong right now. I can feel it. But there's a part of me saying that no, you should try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that fear, is it from the same source or is it somewhere else?
Me. Yeah, from the same source.
Same
Yeah.
source, as in the same
Yes, the
area.
same,
lah.
yes,
Same
yeah.
area. Okay. Okay, maybe need another.
So basically, you have a lot of techniques like.
Okay, so but for those people at home who want to do this, right? It actually helps to reduce the anxiety or the fear to a much more manageable amount. For some people, you can reduce until it's completely gone, which is fine too. So if you want, you can ask it for a temporary change first. Okay, and then you see what happens.
Okay, and that's where I grow and stuff like that, something like that.
Okay, so right now the feeling has given a shape or a form, and we do a transformation to release the negative and keep the positive. More often than not, it stays that way, meaning that fear for this particular issue is resolved.
Oh,
Or
okay.
anxiety for this particular issue is resolved.
Okay.
But for your case, perhaps you may need to do another technique. Perhaps maybe like a regression, for example, or an anchoring process, or belief change, or whatever, in order to find out where the source is coming from. Okay, because for some people, it is a bit maybe over the head for this particular topic. But since we're on this, for some people, the source actually came from perhaps in their childhood. Perhaps, for example, someone growing up and then whenever he looks at the mother, for example, mother's scold, look at the father's scold, and this actually implants certain fears inside the child.
True. Okay.
I'm so good.
Okay, it makes sense. Yeah.
So and so when they grow up, they become fearful of people, working. May even be fearful of strangers to some extent in the worst case scenario. So this one we need to do a regression to resolve the childhood stuff, childhood trauma.
Okay, so it's not as simple as practicing eye contact or like being confident, like forcing yourself to talk to people. It's not as simple as that. Like it can be ingrained since you are a child. That's very interesting. Wow.
I mean, I can use a metaphor. It's like you have a hole in your house, and resolving the issue is filling up with concrete. But if let's say you don't resolve the issue, but I'm just gonna pretend to be confident and everything, it's like putting a carpet over the hole. But over time, you still walk through it before you work.
Okay. Wow, that is very interesting insight. Thank you very much for that today. I shall self-reflect on myself. Okay. As you know, this is actually my first time going live. So, do you have any funny or interesting experience talking to a virtual audience like now, apart from the one that you mentioned that you helped someone speaking on stage?
Come again?
Okay. Do you have any experiences, funny or interesting experiences, talking to a virtual audience, such as like right now?
Okay. I don't do this very often. Okay, to be fair, right? But there was one time I did what do you call it? Do a Facebook Live, and I was I can't remember the title suddenly. The title was "How to Get Kids to Do What You Want."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Because at that point in time I was during circuit breaker, And I had a lot of clients who text me, hey, well, my son do this, my daughter do this, you know. So I was like, oh, okay, so the children due to circuit breaker, they're not behaving very well. So I decided, okay, you know what, let's do a Facebook Live to actually help these parents to understand what's happening, you see. Very quickly, is basically the energy of the parents. So what happens is that you go work and you come back home, you know, you got time to like de-stress and everything. So you go back home, then okay, your kid comes, you know, okay, yeah, hi, bye bye. But then right now it's like having frustrations with boss on Zoom, and then your kid come, and then you know, you get angry. Your child can get the energy, and then your child also can experience that frustrations. So then they play out more, and then a lot of things happening at home. That's really about the energy. And then there were a lot of parents were asking me sorts of questions, and then oh my god, yeah, exactly what's this. Although sometimes they ask me same thing, you know, we do not know what's actually happening in the background. So then we got to find out a bit more. They text me in private. Yeah, but that was one of the things that I did. Another one is when I did a Facebook Facebook Live with Feng Shui Master Max Liang, and then we had side by side. So we sort of know that we're just having fun. So we joke a lot, we crack a lot of jokes, but sometimes due to technical issues, you know. Every time he does the Facebook Live with me involved, the technical issues usually come into play. Like I don't have a voice, you know. Then I'm joking that I am like signing language to him, and then he has to. Oh, but he can hear me. He can hear me. So the audience cannot hear me. Yeah, so a lot of technical stuff, but I don't know. Does that count?
Okay, that still counts lah. I mean, but since you mentioned energy in parenting, do you think that energy and the energy that you have, right, has something got to do with your eye contact, or is it eye contact has something got to do with your energy? Like when you're scolding a kid, then you look into their eyes. I remember my mom scolding me, that she looked into my eyes, and I'm like, I will just cry even without her saying anything. So does it have to do? Is it connected, energy and eye contact?
Yes, it is very connected. Personally, I think it's more of the energy of the framework that we have, and then we project that upwards. Whether or not there is eye contact, okay? Of course, eye contact does emphasize, you know. But I think energy first, or the way we feel about ourselves, the way we feel about other people, then we portray. There's this story, one of my master trainers in hypnosis actually shared this with us. It's a very interesting story. So anyway, he goes hypnosis conventions and conference and all that. And he happened to see this old lady across half the hallway, or maybe not hallway, it was a conference room. And for a moment he was like, oh my god, that's like my grandmother. Then he was like, no, wait, my grandmother's dead. But she looks kind of like my grandmother, you know. And just that moment, the energy was like, she's my family, right? My grandmother. And for the weirdest thing, the entire 1 week, that old lady came up to him and was like, have I met you somewhere before? No. Were you at Las Vegas? No. You can't afford it? No. And she does that like 3, 4, 5 times every day. And all because he thought that she was the grandmother. And the energy projected, you know, even if they have no eye contact, it's really weird. So in fact, we can even talk about rapport for a moment. A lot of people say, oh, I have to mirror and match you, you know, or sit and everything, right? They think it as mirror and matching, which is fine. But there's a tendency where we end up going to a very robotic feel. You know, I must sit like this, you know, must do that kind of things. And then that actually feels a bit off. What I do is that I would rather see you as a friend. Then the energy portrayed out is like a friend, right? The movements will be natural as well. And in terms of mirror matching or understanding how body language works, I will use that as an indicator whether we are getting closer, or did I say something and then suddenly you get a bit defensive, for example. Then I will usually use that as a reference. Oh, okay, there's something I just talk about that's not too suitable, not too appropriate, for example. Then we change accordingly. Yeah, that's how I don't use mirror and matching to like try to fit with people and
Okay.
yeah. So it comes energy first and then the energy portray. If we do reverse, we try to do the conscious behaviors to suppress or change the unconscious, then you get this weird cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, okay. Oh, come to think of it, okay.
Yeah.
Because if I think about it, when someone look at me, I'll be like, okay, he looks very familiar, something like that. Sometimes lah. Okay, so it's the vibe, like what they call it, the vibe gives off the energy. Okay, so you told me that you've been in this business for 6 years now. So with all those experiences, how have you helped your client in having confidence in what they do?
Okay, more often than not, people come to me with mental health issues, you know, like anxiety, fears, phobias, depression, and stuff like this. So when it comes to confidence specifically, we got a few. Many years ago, there was this guy, he came to see me and he was like, oh, I want more confidence in talking to girls. He said he finds, when he see a pretty girl, then he climbs up and he don't know what to say. So we were going to do a DMI process to actually help with him. But of course, I will slap him a little bit lah, because he said he wants to find a girlfriend, but he keep going to clubbing to find girls for other purposes. Hello, you're finding, the intent is wrong already. How are you going to find a girlfriend if the intent is not right? So intent does play a part. Sometimes also about realizing that the energy that they feel regarding the fear anxiety, it's actually not fear anxiety. Weird, but actually a lot of people do not know what they're feeling, exactly what it is. So for example, this guy is a speaker. He tells me he travels all around the world, he speaks to like 1,000 people, plus, but he has this fear of speaking. He's 10 years experience speaking, but he has this fear of speaking. So then he was like, oh, can you help me? So I said, sure. For his case, I did a regression. So a regression is a hypnosis technique to go back in time in memories. So he goes all the way back, and now he's seeing himself on the ski slopes, about to ski. He feels like, wow, I'm feeling energy and everything, and he's ready to go. He wants to like ski and everything, And I'm like, wait a minute, it's a problem that we came to solve. But right now, it's not a bad memory. It's pretty good. It's exciting fun. So I asked him, this energy, this feeling that you feel, does it feel the same as now when you're about to speak? And he was like, oh, yeah, it's exactly the same. Meaning you're not fearful to speak. You're actually so excited, so raring to go, but you just thought it was a fear.
Okay. Oh. Okay, that's very interesting. Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm really speechless. I don't know what to say.
It's fine.
Okay, so talking about clients, right? Mcking is actually a Blissful client, and back then when he was working with the team, I wasn't in the team yet. I was still schooling. But judging by the photos that the team have done for you, it seems like you actually had fun with the production team. Yes. And Huda was telling me, she's actually here. Huda was telling me about this story where you guys were taking photos, and there's this big group of birds nearby you, and then you guys cannot get rid of that bird because they keep going to that spot, and that spot is like your perfect spot for photos. And then I don't know if you remember, but Huda told me that you said that, oh, okay, it's okay, I'll just hypnotize the birds to move away. Do you remember?
No. Did I do that?
But it's quite a funny story. I mean, I can imagine you like, okay, it's okay, I'll just hypnotize the birds.
There's a lot of funny things. I don't know all of them.
Okay, so because of that, right, I'm quite interested to know that how was it working with Blissful team, and how have the Blissful team helped you?
Oh, I thought you want to ask how does hypnotizing end. Okay, it's been a really good journey. Yeah, did the shots, and I really liked. I think you saw the montage. Look at that, beautiful shots. And I actually continued. I think I did another, was it 6 months or something, a package or
yes,
something?
a lot.
I just did the photos. Because everybody has like examples of like, oh, my cake, my food. I'm like, your mind. I can't see your mind, right? You can't see my mind also. So okay, I just take photo of me. So, then we also did what's that? I don't know what you call it. Brand story video.
Oh, okay, yes, yeah.
I just remember a video, business video. Yeah, it was good also. Yeah, a lot of people liked it. Then what else did I do? I did the, what do you call that? 1 minute videos.
Yes, 1 minute brand story video like it's like a brief about what you do, right?
No, there's that. Then there was something
another
else.
one.
There's some other videos that I did, but I don't know what's the name. It's little like tidbit stories information, like how does hypnosis work, stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
What procrastination? Yeah, I can't remember. So I did a lot.
How-to videos, is it?
It's how to. I can't remember. I just put on. Just put on my website. Put on my YouTube, everything.
Okay.
So it's been a very long journey. It's been really good. It's good. Yeah, photos are nice, awesome, vibrant colors. Of course, as you mentioned, have fun.
It was in 2016, right? I mean, you still look the same. She's a good thing.
Yeah, this is genetics.
Okay. Okay, so would you recommend us to the people out there?
Of course. I always recommend anybody that wants shots. I always say, hey, I got this person. Yeah. And see whether they really want to or they're just saying only. Yeah, that's LinkedIn. Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you very much for the recommendation. Alright, so let's wrap up. Now everyone, eye contact. So now we can conclude that eye contact is important with, if we know when to look away and when to look at a person. Okay, so that we don't look like a robot, we don't look creepy as hell. And like previously in better days, it was all about maintaining eye contact with a person. But now, unfortunately, it's all about meeting people online. It's all about virtual conferences, virtual meetings, Zoom meetings, and the most intimate eye contact that we can get is by looking through the camera. And basically, I can say that the camera is like the windows to our audience's eyes. And so according to your points earlier, eye contact is important because it gives off the energy, the vibe to the other people. And how you can overcome it is not by looking into the eyes, right? It's like looking like somewhere
around.
around.
Like maybe the forehead.
Yes, yes.
Okay, maybe I caution one thing. If you're ever face to face, all right, avoid looking left eye, right eye, and then the mouth, and keep doing it.
Oh, that one is a bit weird, huh?
It's not this weird.
Like-
I mean, that's actually unconsciously giving off attraction vibes.
Oh,
Yeah. So if anyone at home I always get a lot of people always like attracted to me. You always look the left eye, right eye, face then mouth this triangle. Avoid that unless you're single.
okay. Okay. But okay, so that is for physical lah.
Yeah.
For camera, it's like you can actually look somewhere around the lens and not into the lens. Okay, that is actually a very interesting insight. And if you are still nervous, you basically you just need to have confidence in yourself and you need to believe in yourself. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, and that's all for today's live. Thank you, Mcking, for sharing your insight. We really appreciate your time here. But before we end, how can our viewers keep in touch with you?
You can go to my Facebook, Lee Mcking the Hypnotist. My website is leemcking.sg. I have Instagram also, Lee Mcking the Hypnotist. I don't know, is there anything else?
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. I forgot the name. Probably Lee Mcking the Hypnotist also. I can't remember. Just search Lee Mcking the Hypnotist, you'll find everywhere. Yeah, I'm Googleable. Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Okay, thank you. So that's how you can contact Lee Mcking, and that's all for today's live. Thank you for watching. We will be going live every Friday. No, not with Mcking, but the Blissful team. And for next Friday, we will be talking about how you can improve your live stream setup even with very limited devices. So if you are interested to know about it, so block out that date and time. Oh, the time is 12 p.m, same timing. And so if you're interested, do block out that date and time, and we'll see you in the next live. With that, stay blissful.